All right, all right. What's going on, party people? Gotta give y'all a minute to slide on up in here. hmm Let's see if I throw a little change my color scheme up a little bit here. Think I'll go with a little gold tonight. I want to do gold. Uh let's see here. I'm gonna have to. Where my stuff at? There we go. hmm What's going on? What's going on? Let me see. I don't like that music. I didn't like the way that started off. I don't know why I selected that one. So what's up, party people? All right, do this here. Hey, what's going on, Angela? All right, y'all know how I be. I gotta figure that. Still gotta figure that music. But sometimes it just be a little too loud on y'all end when I go back and listen to it later and stuff. All right. Ooh. Yeah, buddy. We got some stuff going on in this country right now. Right now. Oh man, it is. Oh goodness. And we gotta get ourselves together. All right. We gotta get ourselves together. Um and if that's all I can say, we gotta get ourselves together. If we don't, we gonna be struggling out here. Gotta get ourselves together. All right. All right, just checking the volume. Turn this music down just a little bit more. All right, turn it down to a 9. All right. Ooh, so how's everybody day been this week? I mean, this is the end of the month, last day of the month. So so talk to me, y'all. Yeah, I've been rocking and rolling. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know what the dollar amount is, but I think I'm pretty close to 75 for the month. I got 4 tomorrow to start off February. I had 4 today. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on Tuesday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on Monday. Sunday I had 1. This thing has been popping for me. So end of the month, all of that. Yeah, yeah. Now I used to do that, man. I used to, but now I'm start to finish. I'm all the way through. Whenever I can, I try not to do anything on the weekends, but it's been from beginning to end right now, and I just gotta keep pushing. And stuff. Yeah. All right. So you're gonna be out there and up that way. All right. Cool. That sounds good. That sounds good. But yeah, good evening to you. All right. And now tell me in the chat, well, if you've heard, and also thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. Greatly appreciate that. Um, People, tell me if y'all have heard about the layoffs. And not just UPS, there's others. But tell me, have you heard it? If you have, put a 1 in the chat. If you've heard about the layoffs, or maybe you've been affected by the layoffs, put a 1 in the chat. If you know somebody who's been affected by the layoffs or is going to be, put a 1 in the chat. I here you go. I can start that off because yeah, I know somebody. I know somebody. What's going on now, Angela? Good evening to you there, Caprentice. Oh man, Oswald. Um, what's going on in these crazy notary street? Man, there's a lot going on now. What in particular is supposed to be going on? You know, I mean, folk are scrambling. Folk are really, really scrambling. I know the notary trainers are scrambling. Now they're not going to admit it. They're gonna put a smile on their face. But people are rolling out this business left and right. The notary trainers are trying to keep things going, coming up with more and more stuff for you to stay active with them on. It ain't no joke. I mean, I'm like, and then the people who aren't able to do closings or don't want to do them or not getting apostille, not getting any kind of general notary work, they're not getting the estate planning, and they're trying to figure out what they can do. And that's why I was saying a couple of weeks ago, or really this whole month, there's a lot of people who are tripping about the business, but they ain't leaving it. They won't leave it, but they got a whole lot of smack to say about the business. And I'm like, if you got issues with the business, then leave. You know, why are you still hanging around? Why are you still posting stuff? You know, that you in business? Why you still got your Google business page up? And then why are you trying to train people when you don't really care for the business and you don't like it and you haven't figured out the solution to your problem, which apparently we all have. So whatever problem you say you got in the business, apparently we all have it too, with the pay and the distance and the pages, number of pages to print and all of that. And if you haven't figured it out, then how can you train me and put me out there dealing with the same thing and you have no solution to it for yourself? So therefore you're not going to have a solution for me. I don't understand that. I really don't. I really don't understand that. They said, girl, I see it because the company I serve 9 to 5 is one of the main ones. Yep. Everything notary on Clubhouse is already discussing the conferences for 2024, including those notary cruises. Yeah, I know about the cruise. I'm not a cruise ship person. I've been on it one time, and with all the people getting sick and all the folk disappearing, I ain't getting on no cruise boat. It's that simple. I ain't cruising nowhere. If I'm cruising, I'm getting in me like a 67, Coupe de Ville, and I'll be cruising in that. I'll be getting in a 75 Broham. I will get in one of those, but I ain't getting on no cruise ship. Nope, nope. Too daggone many people. Nope. Nope. I ain't doing it. And everything. Conferences. I mean, if somebody want me to speak at one, yeah, I'll go. But outside of that, I'm not. I don't have a need to go. I mean, I really don't have a need to go to a conference. NNA conference and all that. Nah, that's just not me. They're going to notarize on the ship. Yeah, that's interesting. If they get more than 12 miles out, they're going to be in international water. So they better not be trying to notarize anything, because what venue are you in? Yeah. But this is getting, I just want to talk about this here thing. And for the notaries who are currently in the business, and then for anybody who sees this video and that may come into business. And again, thank you for hitting the like button, everybody. How many likes we got up in here? We only got 5 likes. Come on, people. Come on now. At least do it for, like, hey, I somewhat like Griff. We got Green Lantern chilling over here. Green Lantern. Look, if you pull the ring out on you, that's it. But yeah, let's get those likes up, people. All right. So I'm just gonna share my thoughts and my take on this. And matter of fact, let me turn my music off. Done with that. And then I gotta print some documents too. So I'm gonna be printing my documents. I only got 2 more sets to print. I think, yeah, something like that. So shouldn't be too loud. If the printer ends up being loud, just let me know. And no joking around, Oswald, telling me it's loud when it's not, because that I know that's what you would do. So if for Caprinas is my my sound man. So if my printing back there is too loud, let me know and everything, and I'll do it one at a time to make it a little quieter. But here's the thought. Okay, there's a lot of notaries that, as we know, are timid, they're scared, they got all these worries, all of this stuff. A lot of what I talked about earlier today when I did a video. And with that, um, if you're not trying to get orders and get your credibility up and your confidence up and your experience up and all of that now, when these layoffs hit 12,000 from UPS, I believe starting tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow or today was the last day, and as of tomorrow they're laid off. You got 12,000 there. Then you got the tech giants are laying off people. All these companies are laying people off. They're going to be looking for some kind of way to make money. And a lot of them are going to be highly motivated, probably a little bit more motivated than what you currently are. And like some of y'all, like, well, I got a part-time job, I got a full-time job, so I'm good. Okay, well, these people coming in, they're not gonna have any job. And they're gonna come in and they're gonna be very, very eager to make money, which means, and I know people say, well, they're gonna make the pay low. The pay is already low. I don't know how much lower they're gonna make it if they come in, but what I do know is they're gonna probably be a little bit more eager and willing to take these jobs that you've been pushing off, that all of these folk out here talking about don't take. They're going to be like, I'm taking it. And to you who coming into this business, you're new, you don't know too much about the notary business. Let me share this with you. Don't just run out here taking everybody's training, because a lot of these people are not what they seem. They're going to take advantage of you, and they will take your money and leave you high and dry. I'm telling you right now. At the end of this here, at the end of this live, I'm going to put some links in the description for you to go to, and you can look at videos that I put out there, videos about how to basically you do your own interview with these notary trainers, question them, find out what they're all about, all of this stuff. Because if you don't, I'm telling you, you will be taken advantage of, and you're already unemployed, you already got limited money, and you do not need somebody to be taking your stuff. But for those of us who are currently in this notary business, I'm telling you right now, you need to grab as much work as possible. I saw in the chat somebody said they did 65 for the month. Okay. 65, they're at 65 for the month. And that is excellent. So there is still work out here. It's a little sparse, it's a little all over the place. It comes in waves. I mean, there was one tonight that came up, said TBD, to be determined, for tonight. And had I not planned to do this live, I would have went and did it. But I was like, I'm gonna do this live. I really wanted to get this out. So I was like, no, I'm not gonna do it. Plus, I'm actually tired and I need to get my stuff printed, which I need to hit print. I got commercial on tomorrow to do 23 pages on, it's two sets. One's 23 pages and then the other one is 40 some pages. But if you're talking about trying to continue to stay in this business, and now we got an influx of human beings coming in here who have been laid off, you got a decision to make, party people. I'm serious. You really got a decision to make. Are you going to go ahead on a step out here and start taking orders? Now, I will tell you this. There are a lot of people who have started taking orders. And let me know it's printing right now. If it's too loud, let me know, Caprinas. Yeah, let me know if y'all hear that more so over me. But I'm telling y'all right now, there are a lot of people who they are taking orders and they are moving forward. Okay, there are people who are taking orders and they're moving forward. Okay, not too bad. So that's the thing. That's the thing. I ain't gonna print no more because it was too loud for me. So whatever you hear is like 3 times more probably for me. It ain't that many to print anyway. So my thing is this. Like my girl Jessica, she's doing good. I just talked to a guy. I wish I can. Me and him just started talking the other day. He got his first loan mod. We got Donna, who's out there in Montana. She's doing great. She's been doing great. Then there's a gentleman that I was talking who in Texas. He's doing a lot of stuff. He's out there in the rural areas getting work. So there's a lot of business out here. It's just sort of quiet, and yeah, the fee is a little lower, but when you layer it all together, it's producing money. So keep in mind this: a person who just got laid off, who has a mortgage or rent that's say $2,000 or more a month, they got maybe altogether 4 or 5 grand in expenses. They got a severance, maybe. They got some savings, maybe. They got some family that can help them out. The notary business is a viable business. I'm doing great in it, and others are doing great in it. And when I say great, don't mean that we're necessarily six figures or seven, all of that kind of stuff. But we're doing great in it. We're doing good in it. We're doing fair in it, depending on a person's perspective. And don't you think that a person with some intelligence can see if I'm taking all of these orders, they're going to equal up to this dollar amount? And And the question is going to be, are they willing to put in the physical effort to do this? If they're willing to put in the physical effort to do this notary business, then they're going to go out here and make the money, which means soon, very soon, they're going to surpass the existing notaries, and they're going to be getting more of the orders than you. And you'll still be sitting on the sideline, worried, scared, and frantic for nothing. So for those of you who are new and with the and you're interested in being a notary, it's a great business. It's a great position to have. But you got to know your state laws. You got to do that right. You got to make sure you understand your state laws. It is not our role and responsibility to go around explaining documents to people. You need to find out from your state whether or not you can do that. But for the most part, notaries are there to verify ID, watch the person's witness, watch the person witness, watch the person sign. In other words, witness them signing the document, and then there's a notarial area that we complete. If there's a document called an affidavit, which is a statement of truth or fact, then we swear them in before they sign it, and then they can sign the document after we give them an oath. Get sworn. They get sworn in. They sign it, date it if necessary, and then we do our part in the notarial area. And I have videos that show all of that. And like I said, I put links in the description to playlists, and you can just go through the playlists and see all of that. So these individuals will come in and start doing it. You're still sitting on the sideline trying to figure out okay, well, I'm gonna explain it this way. I'm telling you, there's people out here, and then just imagine if anybody was a notary at UPS or at these, they're gonna come in and they're gonna tear the game up. They're gonna be pop locking all day long. But for those of you who are currently in it, it's go time. It's time for you to stop playing around. If an order comes, just take it. Who knows that you took it? Nobody will know that you took it and had to drive an hour for it. Nobody. Nobody will know. So why are you worrying about, man, I'm taking this order and they said don't? Who are they to tell you not to take it? Take the order, make your money, gain the experience, because there's a wave of people coming, and they're talking about more layoffs coming. So we got 12,000 starting, I guess, this month or next month, February, and even more and more as along with the ones that are happening. There's a video out there that I put on my community tab talking about the layoffs of the remote workers. So a lot of people who are remote workers, they're getting booted. They're like, you're out. So they're going to be looking for jobs. And guess what? If they're in a state that has Ron and they're already computer savvy, where you are still nervous and scared of the laptop and all this, that, and the other, and they already been doing stuff with DocuSign and probably Notarize and all of that, they hop on there, they're going to be tearing that Ron game up. So what I'm saying is, it's time for you now to go ahead on and stop playing around and get out here and do this business. If an order come, take it. Don't worry about what somebody in some Facebook group said. Don't worry about what somebody in their living room sitting up there saying. Don't worry about what they say. Who are they? They can't control you. They can't control you. They can't. What, as they say, what heaven or hell do they have to put you in? None. So why are you worried about whether they are impressed with you and what you're doing in your business? It's clear they're not impressed. They're not even impressed with their own selves because a lot of them aren't doing it. And let me see here. And feel free to ask any questions, even if you're new to here and you never heard about notary stuff. And if you're new, if you're new and not a notary and you've heard about this and you're interested, put a two in the chat. If you're new and never done notary stuff, but you've been interested and you heard stuff and this came up in in your feed, let me know. Put a two in the chat if you're new with this. And if you have a question, feel free to ask your question. What are your thoughts on taking Notary to Go and Notary Stars training on signing order for unlimited ink? I noticed that they state that they prioritize notaries that have this. Um, I didn't know notary. Oh, Notary to Go. You might be talking about notary to notary. That's what you're thinking about. Maybe notary to notary. Um, you can take whatever training you want. Notary Stars, they get in depth into the documents. I don't know how in depth Vanessa gets with hers if you're talking about notary to notary. And then you have notary to pro. You might be talking about notary to pro, not notary to go. Notary to pro, that's Carol Ray. She passed away about a year and a half, 2 years ago. The thing is, regardless of what a person teaches, the question is, does it line up with your state? Because you got to keep in mind, most of the trainers out here, a lot of them aren't teaching state specific anything. A lot of them aren't. They're teaching in a general sense that is quote unquote supposed to help out the escrow officer or toward a direct client. There's over 23,000 title companies in the United States. So there's no one training that can teach to every single one of those at all. There's none. There's no training out there that can prepare you for every type of loan document or every type of process that is out there. The one thing that you can have as a staple is to understand your notarial certificates and how to notarize. You can take all the training you want. I know Ronnie does 150 hours, and he says you'll get priority with him. I don't know how that would translate to other companies. I don't. You know, don't know because not every company likes other companies. So one company may say, okay, you took Notary to Pro and Notary Stars, but we don't really care for them. I mean, because that's just life. That's the way business runs. Then you have the main thing is if you don't know how to properly notarize, you can take all the training you want. If you don't know what to do when it comes time to notarizing those documents, like many of my videos show. And then the other thing is because Notary Stars is owned by Ronnie, which is Unlimited Ink, they got to have work for you. They got to have work for you in your area. And as I said earlier in a video today, is that a lot of people are overwhelmed by the amount of information they're trying to consume in order to make sure they understand the documents. Understanding how to notarize is very, very simple. But understanding the documents and having the confidence to articulate even just a short blurb can be difficult for some people. Not everybody is articulate, not everybody is confident. There are people who has a hard time speaking. There are people who get intimidated by other folk because you have people that they just look at you like, okay, let's see. They have a very intimidating vibe about them. And if you have issues within you and you don't have the confidence and you get easily punked, I'm just gonna be straight with you. You can, and now you're trying to remember all of this stuff, and then After taking however many hours of anybody's training, you see documents that you've never seen before. You get a chance to do a commercial on that's paying $300. And you're like, whoa, I never seen. Oh, I mean, we talked about it and we did a little training on it, but I didn't see it looking like this. You see what I'm saying? So if you're depending solely on training to prepare you for every aspect of the notary business, you could be greatly disappointed because there's just too many variables out there. The best instructor, the best educator, the best teacher, however you want to call it, is you going out there and gaining experience. Because when you're out there, you're going to see the documents for yourself. You're going to see things in there that are like, oh, okay, well, no, they didn't talk about this. It's no problem. They talked about as much as they could, but take what they said and then use deductive reasoning and logic and figure it out and move forward. At the end of the day, it's about the notarial area for us. They sign, they stamp. I mean, they sign, they date, they initial, and then we do our thing. It's very simple, you know. So people can say they promise what's going on, fingerprint, my man, fingerprint guru. I've been seeing your videos, man. You're doing a great job out there. Doing a great job. And then you say Notary Stars goes in depth about the loan document. One of the things I've always said is this: people teach out of their experience. That's what they teach out of. They teach out of their experience as well as their passion. I'm passionate about the notarial part. Others are passionate about the documents itself because it's it's intriguing to sit there and read these documents and to learn something. It's like I know the documents. That's very intriguing for some people, but it's very stressful for others. And what I continually emphasize is that you need to make sure you understand your role as to what you've been commissioned to, which is to properly notarize the documents. But every single, but this is one of the things that you have to realize. No matter how much training you take from anybody, when you sit down in front of a signer and they're like, look, I only got 45 minutes. Matter of fact, to be honest, I only got 30 minutes. And you got 220 pages. They're not looking for you to explain or share or guide. When they sit there and tell you, I've already reviewed the documents, I'm good to go. I got a 6 a.m. one. It's sitting right over there. I already printed the documents. I'm gonna prep them tonight. 6 a.m. The guy's like, he said, I already got a copy of them. I'm gonna be reading. He got the copy, he got the documents 2 days before I got them. He said, I'm gonna go review them and I'm gonna be ready in the morning and I ain't got no questions. And any questions I have, I ask them before I see you. I said, no problem. I'll be there 6 a.m. Boom. That's what you see what I'm saying? So, what is there to explain? So, after you take all this training, the one thing you got to learn to be able to do is keep your mouth shut because there's going to come times where they don't want to hear what you got to say. They're already cool. They know what they're doing. They know why they're signing. They know what these documents are. They know it better than you. You're dealing with a loan officer or a title person or a lender. I'm telling you, or you dealing with somebody buys and sells real estate a lot. They're like, I just need to get this deal. I already know I got that. I'll deal with that later. I just need to sign these papers. And the question is, are you willing to pull back and just do that? If you are, you'll do fine in the business. If you're not, you're going to be stressed because you're going to feel like I done spent all this money on this training. And these suckers will not let me say what I want to say. They will not let me do my song and dance that I've been practicing with my husband at 2 o'clock in the morning and with my wife at 4:30 in the afternoon. They will not let me do this. And there are people who are highly upset because they like, I'm going to go through these documents like I've been training to do and practicing. And that's why I say where you spend your money at, that's what you follow. And people spend a lot of money with these trainers. You don't spend any with the signing companies that are hiring you, and they give you instructions and they tell you what you should and shouldn't do. And I got videos out there about that somewhere. But they got videos, I've got videos out there talk about that, and they tell you, don't say this, don't do this. concerning the documents. So if they're telling you don't say anything, but you got training that has prepped you for the last 2 months to say something, now you got a decision to make. Which way you gonna roll? You gonna go with the people, with the person who you paying said, or you gonna go with what the person who's is paying you said for you to do, and what your state said. Let me see what we got here. Today I received an email from a platform called Jot, but I'm not interested. Interested. I think I got something from them. I'm gonna have to go check that out. It says here's one here for anyone interested. My name is Carly, Senior Project Partner Manager for Jot, a notary scheduling platform that simply simplifies signing for notaries. We're expanding. Yeah, I think I have seen that. I've seen that. I've seen that. I I don't think, do I have that on my phone? I mean, I be having stuff on my phone and don't even. Nope, nope, nope. That's Jurat. No, that's something else. The First American inspection increased volume nationwide, so we're currently onboarding. Yeah, if you're interested, we'd love to have you. I'll check them out, and anytime I join our team, look for it. Yeah. My thing is, as long as they're not making it seem like a W-2, I'm good. There's some that try to treat you like a W-2, even though you're a 1099. I'm not down with that. I know Redfin, they're trying to bring notaries on. They have this interview process and all of that. But, if you can get in, see, here's the thing. You can get in with something like that, get in there, make your money, get some experience, and then roll out. You don't have to stay there. You're a business owner, you're an independent business owner. You're not obligated to stay in that realm forever. You just get in, make your money, and keep it going. It's that simple. Now, for those of you who are new to this business, this is a great business. And I didn't really properly introduce myself. It's been like 30 minutes into this. Stephen Griffin Notary Services. I'm out here in Virginia, notary 5.5 years, got over 3,200 or so loan closings and other notary related assignments done. And I'm full time in this business right now. I'm averaging probably about 70 closings a month slash notary assignments of various types. Um, and this is a wonderful business, but you as an individual have to be careful and mindful about who you attach yourself to, and you have to be very, very critical and question them about what they're doing. You need to first make sure you learn and understand your state laws before going to them, because a lot of them don't teach you state laws with regards to notary. They don't. Some might talk about it a little bit, but a lot of them they don't. And especially when you're talking about these independent, I almost said loose cannon to be honest, but these independent notary gurus or trainers or educators who aren't really supported by any state. They're not supported by your state. They're not endorsed by your state. That's what I really meant to say. Endorsed. They're just very popular. So you have to be careful that making sure that they don't tell you something that could violate your state law. Because the thing you need to realize as a new person coming into this business, they're not going to be sitting in a court of law with you if you do something wrong. They tell you, hey, this is the way I did it, and I'm doing it this way, that way, and the other. They don't disclaim that that was for their state, or there's other things that they need, um, they don't disclose anything like, oh, well, because of this, that, and they don't give you the full detail. They just tell you, I do, this is what I do. And then you start doing it, and then you find out that it's wrong, or somebody else finds out that you're doing something wrong and you get penalized for that. Is that person going to actually stand in the court of law and take responsibility for misguiding you? More than likely, no. But you as an adult, it's your responsibility to make sure that you know what you're doing and that you follow your state guidelines. It's your responsibility. Um, yeah, it's your responsibility. And if you don't, then that's on you. And there's no obligation for them to ever come to your defense. So, in other words, whatever you're supposed to do as a notary, whatever somebody's teaching you, The question is, will it get me in trouble and will it put me in front of a judge? And if it is, then I should not be doing it. And if the person who is teaching me this stuff can't give me confidence that what they're telling me is correct in accordance with my state laws and guidelines, then I best not do it until I find out whether or not it's so, which means I probably need to hold off on spending money with certain people. And just because they're popular, just because they talk about all this money people make, new people who are interested in this business. Let me share something with you. There are people who are in this business that are making a lot of money, but they had a hookup. They already had connections, and there are some, not a whole lot, and statistically it's been shown via the National Notary Association that only 3% of the notaries that are out here in this business, and it's a lot of them, are $100,000 or more. That means 97% of the notaries are making less than 100,000. That's what that means. So, how are they making their money? Did they have an inroad? And that's what one of the videos I've made called questions to ask your notary trainer before you spend money with them. If they already had an inroad, if they already had connections, if they was a former escrow officer or a lender or this or that, then they know the game a little better than you. If they have a natural knack for marketing, a natural knack for connecting with people and building confidence in somebody else so that they'll use them, and you don't come across that way, that's not the kind of person you are, then of course, yeah, you're gonna struggle. If you're in a rural area, that's why I was asking the question about rural stuff. And I talked to one of the notaries, Frank from Lower Alabama. When you out in a rural area, it can be very difficult. So there's all of these factors that come into play with doing this business. And some people don't have those limitations. Some people got plenty of money. They got money sitting in a bank and they can go out there and buy two, three printers. They can go out there and buy scanners. They can just lay everything out and have everything. And then they're sitting up here bragging like you thinking that they started bootstrap started like you did with nothing. And it's like, no, they actually had everything going. I heard a lady talking about how she was retired at 30 some years old and she was just bored and wanted to do this business. And now she's making $100,000. Okay. But she had money to fall back on. I hear people fussing and complaining about I'm not going to do an order that's not this dollar amount. But you look and you can see they well taken care of. Their wife got money or they got money. Somebody other than them is taking care of the bills. They don't need the notary money to pay the bills. See, there's a difference when somebody's trying to help you in this business who needs every single dime that they make as a notary to pay the bills versus somebody who got their spouse paying the bills. Whoever their spouse is, and what they're doing with the notary business is just some chump change. It's just some little spending money. It's just a little something that they figure they do and try it out. Okay. But they're not really doing it. So if you've been laid off and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, I need to make some money to pay this $5,000 worth of debt that we have or these obligations each month. And somebody sitting here telling you don't take these orders, but when you add the orders up, you're like, well, these orders actually give me more than $5,000. And if I go and do them, which I have the time since I'm unemployed, I can make $6,000 or $7,000. Yeah, I have my printer expenses and this expenses and all of that. And then if you're a person who understands business and understand your tax breaks and all of that, you're like, yeah, I can do this business and I do my quarter. I can make some money and have something coming in to take care of the family. But you got people out here who will tell you, don't do that. Wait for orders that are this dollar amount, but don't do anything down here. And all the while, you're starving and you're struggling. And also, like I said, any questions? Let me see. What we got here. It's no way we see notaries are going to know all these legal documents. And per state regulations, we aren't legally allowed to go into depth in them. I'm focused on perfecting my notary. That is correct. That is really where it's at. I have seen some trainers pivot from their notary trainer platform this week. When you say pivot from, meaning give up and quit, stop doing it, or they're trying to do, or they're trying to, what kind of pivot are they doing? They because I know there's a lot of them have quit and stopped doing it because there's an influx. I mean, there's so many people trying to train. And I'm telling you, you got to find out, are you a full-time notary? Are you working a job and all that? Because there's some people, I'm just be real with y'all. And I'm not trying to be funny. There's some people there, like I'm 56. I know I don't look that old. But there's some people that they just don't physically have the stamina to do 70 or stop doing. Okay, they just stop doing it. They don't have the stamina to actually go out here and do it. Some people have issues going into other folks' homes. They just have issues staying organized. And I get it. They're probably more organized when it comes to trying to do training material because that's what they did in their job and all of that, or something putting PowerPoints together. They're real good at that. But it doesn't mean that they're real good at communicating information. It doesn't mean that they're real good at making the information stick in your heart and in your head and stuff. And what I'm finding interesting is that a lot of people who are calling themselves trainers, they never done any training their whole life. They just been a office worker or something, and now all of a sudden they have what it takes to train people. You cannot just take people at their words. You got to make them prove themselves to you, and then they got to prove themselves to you again the next time you meet them. And it takes time, and it has to build over time and time. It says the jurat founder said his wife was already in the industry. He started helping her out, and that's how he got started. Boom. That's what I'm saying. Hey, what's going on, Faith? That's what I'm saying. And there's nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is you need to make sure you understand where people are at who are saying, I want your money. Give me your money to help you. And you could be making all this money. But if you already had a leg up and you didn't have to start from ground zero, meaning you had nothing, their energy and their vision and the way that they look at the business is going to be different. They're not, and most people that I've come across, and correct me if I'm wrong, and put a 3 in the chat if you've experienced this, but I have experienced that got when they're not bootstrapping it like I am, they're not as patient with other folk who they're supposed to be mentoring and training. They're not. They are like, you need to do this. Come on, let's go. And you're like, I don't have the money to go to another conference. I don't have money to go to another get together. And then when you do go, they're going to the most expensive restaurant, trying to buy the most expensive food. And it's like, I don't have that. And if you come across people that's like, that's what I've experienced, not just within the notary, but even outside the notary. Put a 3 in the chat if you've experienced that. You may not have, but I have. I'll put a 3 in the chat for me. I have experienced where I get around certain people, and it's like you had like 15 silver spoons in your mouth before you got into this business, and now you're acting like, oh yeah, this is the easiest thing in the world. Boom, I can do this. And it's like, and I'm like, okay, and I'm sitting here, I'm struggling. I'm sitting here like, what kind of lie can I say to justify only getting some French fries at $6 at this restaurant? Man, I had already ate. I had this. I'm serious. I've been there. You're around people who are ballers, and they got it, and then they want you to hang out with them, and you're like, dang on, $6.95 for some fries. That's why I'm by myself a lot, because I learned the hard way. I'm not going to try to impress. I'm not going to try to hang with the Joneses. None of that kind of stuff. I'm like, uh-uh. So you got to know whether or not these people, and this is for everybody, whether you're new in this business, just interested in it, or you've already been in it, You have every right to ask these people who want your money questions and listen to them. Let them speak and hear what they're saying and also hear what they're not saying. And just ask them. Because you are a business owner and you have every right to. And yes, I know they might be a millionaire, and that's okay. But you still have a right to inquire of said millionaire or 100,000aire. Is what you're teaching me going to be valid for my state? How does this equate to me making more money? Where's the guarantee in this? So why are you doing this? Sometimes it's like, why are you doing this? It's a perfectly good question to ask. It is. It says, "Hey there, what is the best way to market yourself for GNW?" All right, good question. Great question. He said, "I tell you this: if it wasn't for you, talking about me, I introduced you to field inspections, and then all of a sudden, everybody want to try to." It was so funny to me that here I'm the one that really, it was field inspections going on, but when I started talking about, all of a sudden, it's like everybody's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." That's I still make my money with that, but I just found it interesting that just so many people didn't want to do it because there was people I talked to about it, and they just like, "I ain't doing that, nah, 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 nah." Especially a lot of the ladies. And then once I came out publicly, and I started talking about how much money, all of a sudden, them same young ladies was like, "Oh yeah, I'm doing it too. I'm doing it." I'm like, and I got a class on it. I'm like, oh my goodness. But the best way to market yourself, man. See, I look at it as based off of my personality. What the best way to market yourself is doing it in a way that will be most natural and that won't seem staged, overly rehearsed, or without soul. You got to figure out who you are and market to people in your style that fits you and that enables you to communicate that you have the ability to service them if they ever have a notary need in your own unique way. It's not always about what you put on a flyer. It's not always about the business card and all of that. It's about sometimes just your presence. And what I've learned is that in my area, and I'm sure it's like this for other areas, I let them know that I will be there for them. I don't pressure them. My style is not to pressure anybody to do anything because I don't like being pressured. So if I meet somebody, we'll just use Bruce. So I'll be like, "Hey Bruce, how you doing, man?" The way I typically sometimes will introduce myself or get to know a person, fill them out. Man, Bruce, look, I like the suit that you got on, man. That is cut real nice on you. Now I'm being honest. Because if I see this is cut good, now if it's like he looking like like he got his little nephew suit on, I ain't gonna say nothing. But I'm like, I'll find something else, man. Those some nice shoes. I like those type of shoes and everything. They look real comfortable. Where did you get them from? Because I might need to break down and get me some and everything. And then it's like, yeah. I say, yeah. And now here's what I would do. And I'll say, yeah, I might have to break down. I said, I like wearing dress shoes, but it's hard for me because of the work that I do. And in my line of business, I'm constantly moving and running around. And just some days those dress shoes, man, just be tearing my feet up. And he's like, "Well, what kind of work you do?" "I'm a notary, man." "A notary?" Like, yeah, I know. I know, man. People don't think notaries can make money or what's the big deal about being a notary. I said, but no, I help a lot of people out when it comes to a lot of their estate planning, wills, power of attorney. Sometimes they have real estate documents. Somebody might have passed away. See, they don't know what signing companies are and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to tell them that. So I'll say, sometimes they might have somebody that passed away, and a title company might say, "Hey, take these documents and find a notary to get the real estate transaction signed and notarized. And I said, that's what I do. And I make myself available for them. See how I'm saying? I make myself available to them so that whether it's at 8 in the morning or 8 at night or whenever, and like I'm in Virginia, I say, and one of the best things is that Virginia allows me to do this online also. So if somebody is in another state or they're military, I can get online with them and get things notarized for them. Dot dot dot. That's my flow. That is my flow. I'm never going to come with this Amway, Shackley, Prime America type of intro. You know what I'm saying? You know that Amway, hey, oh, you're in a grocery store. How much you spend on groceries? Yeah. I mean, you can't do that in a notary. Hey, how much you spend on notary? Oh, wow, that's too much. Look, come to this meeting, at 7 o'clock on a Wednesday. Now I'll talk to you about. No, I don't do that. I just flow. I know who I am and how I like to flow, and I like to have regular, normal conversations with people. Not everybody you want to introduce your business to, okay? Because you can. Sometimes I'm feeling them out. I'm like, you know what? Nah, you trouble. You trouble. Mm-mm. You look like you just, it's like, okay, nah, I'm leaving you alone. But that's what I do. And what the best to me, the best way to market yourself for anything is in a way that is natural for you, so you're not seeming robotic, desperate, and as if you don't care about them but just want to sell. Now, once you have that, where can you go and do that? Of course, you can go to a hospital. I think if you introduce yourself maybe to the chaplain at a hospital or to their hospice care group, and you have to recognize and realize hospice, the person is at end of life. How do you market yourself to them? And for me, in a very natural way, I would just simply say, "How you doing, Miss Johnson? Yeah, I'm the notary, and I'm a notary, Griffin Notary Services. And what I wanted to do was just give you my card and let you know that if any of the patients and their family ever need notary services, during that time of need when it's getting close to the end of life, and they may not have gotten that done, feel free to give me a call so that I can accommodate them and support you in making this transition, much more easier, pain and as painful as stress free as possible, you know. And that's what I would say, something like that. Yeah, social workers at hospital. To me, you got to communicate that I'm here for you. It's not about, hey, do you have business? You got somebody about out of here so I can make some money? Don't come to anybody like that. And a lot of marketing is really about that. Like, hey, you need a notary. No, 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 no. Hey, I'm here for you. Whenever you need me, I'm here for you. You just tell me I'm here for you. Now, when you do that, you got to find a way to be there for them. That's why on Christmas night, 9 o'clock, and I wasn't even feeling good, I got my happy butt up and I went out there and took care of a notary assignment that a whole bunch of other notaries said no to. And this lady needed a notary because her husband was going out to sea. And without that power of attorney, she wouldn't have been able to conduct business on his behalf. Went over there, got it done, went in the house 5 minutes, didn't even have to take my bag off my shoulder. Stamp, made 50 bucks. Went on back home and fell asleep. So when you say you're going to be there for somebody, be there. Now, one of the things that I typically would do is say, hey, if you sense that something is coming up and a client might need me, just give me a call. Give me a call and I'll be more than happy to help out, and I'll make sure I'll find a way to fit it into my schedule to accommodate y'all. That's all. That's the number one way to do. Even if you go to a nursing home, I'm here to support you and making sure that the transition and everything that y'all need is good. I'm here that if they need a power of attorney done so that so that they can conduct business on that patient's behalf, give me a call. I don't talk about, man. I don't talk about like, hey, I'm here to, kind of business you got going on. How much of that? I'm just here. This is who I am. This is what I can do for you, and I'm here to support you in that. That works for me. Now, other people, they may have the personality that can come in and say, look, I'm trying to make $5,000 this month, and I need you to make it happen for me. And the person be like, Roger that, I'm gonna do it. There's some people that's like that. That's not me. That's why I say, to me, the best way to market yourself is in a way that you're going to be natural, authentic, and I think that'll work over anything. Any question? What are your thoughts on that? What do you think about that? You asked the question. Indians exposed in investigations. Ooh-wee. How you doing, Akita? Good evening to you. Good evening to you. Yeah. So now here's the thing. This is what I've learned in life. I will listen to what other people say, as long as they ain't coming across scamish. I will listen to them, and I'm like, okay. And then I say, well, how can I apply that to me? To me, this is who Griff is. This is how I am. How do I make that a part of me? And see, for me, sometimes it might take, as crazy as it is, it might take me a year to find a way to implement something in my life. Because here's the thing, I don't want to get overwhelmed. I want to make sure I can handle what I have. So I can't go out here doing every single thing that a notary can do. Apostilles is cool, but I don't really push that. Estate planning is cool. I don't really push that. Can I do them? Yes. Have I done them? Yes. But right now, I'm just rocking and rolling with what comes to me, what's in my area. And I'm like, all right, that's where the money's at. Now, for other people, they don't think the money's there, and that's fine. Other people, because sometimes it's just about personality and what you're willing to put in, put down. And that's all I do. And and see, that's why I don't really go out there trying to take people's training, because if I start taking too much of people's training, I'm going to ask some questions of them. So I'm very, very cautious about doing that because I don't want them to think that I'm trying to be disrespectful, whatever. But if I think you talking some crap, I'm going I'm going to be on it. Or if sometimes I may not even say anything because if it's already established that you ain't gonna really listen to anybody, okay, I know. And then I might take your training, but I would never implement any of that into my business. And see, that's the beauty about being a business owner. You can pay for everybody's training, but if you see that now that doesn't fit me, you never have to do any of it, no matter how much you paid. You're not obligated to do anything that anybody said with regards to how to run your business, whether that's me or anybody else. But if you see something that can work, you give it a try. You're like, okay, wow, this did work. And if you need to put your own sauce on it to make it even better for you and your situation, then do that. Don't feel guilty about that. If you want to take only 125 and above orders, do it. Don't make other people feel bad for not doing it. If you want to take orders below, do it. Don't make people feel bad because they stuck up. Not everybody stuck up, but they may come across like they're a little too stuck up to do that because that's how people, they basically say it's beneath them to do. It's okay. Be happy with what you do and respect what others do. That's why I said accept where you are, but respect where that other person is. And that's what I try to do. I accept where I'm at. I know where I'm at, but I respect where everybody else. Even though I may not like the fact that people are training and teaching certain things, but you know what? I respect. Okay, you're doing that. If you choose not to properly disclaim, if you choose not to properly educate people on the limitations of what you're teaching them so they can make a better informed decision, that's on you. My counter to that is to bring these topics up so that you can think back and like, okay, you're telling me this. Let me think about that before I give you $500. I'm not here to destroy anybody's bottom line of making money. I'm here to make sure that people who have money to spend it wisely. That's really what it's about. Any questions, any concerns, any observations, but the layoffs are here. And if you don't get started in doing this business, you're going to be left behind. And which one of your trainers do you think is really going to come to your rescue to help you out and to make sure that you're okay financially without it costing you something to get them to do that? It's not that many, if any. Okay. I'm not in a position to do anything for you, but just talk to you on YouTube, because I don't have no training course and all this, that, and the other. I have my YouTube channel membership where I help people out, more on a one-on-one basis and all of that. But the market's oversaturated in that. And I found a different way to help people out. So I help people with my YouTube channel membership. People sign up, become a channel member. If they need help with a document review or things of that nature, channel members, they get that. I do exclusive videos for them. They come up and tell me different topics they want me to deal with. And I talk about them with them and put the word out. We do training. I try to do training twice a month. Sometimes I do some pop-up meetings with them, and I just do everything I can to make sure that they are solid. Because I know that not everybody who watches this channel is really about it. They just sort of glancing, they just sort of playing, they're not really for real. So those who are for real, they're channel members, they hit the join button, they join, and those are the ones who I give more direct one-on-one help for. They call me up whenever they need, and if they're in a signing or whatever, I'm there for them. I make sure that they have the proper covering in order to do this here business, because my goal is to help them get their first 10 signings with little to no errors. And the reason why I say little is because some people, no matter how much you help them and educate them, they'll get nervous and do something wrong. And what I've seen over the past year and a half, 2 years that I've had this channel membership, that people who literally allow me to help them out and they get through that first 10 signings, they're moving forward, and then I'm helping them out in other ways. And they're doing great in the business. Once you get through your first 10 and you get through them error free, and then you see all the different style of documents and stuff, you're going to have a lot more confidence. And that's why I'm so encouraged. And notice what I'm saying: get the first 10 done. It don't matter what type they are, get the first 10 entrepreneurial assignments done. Like somebody was asking me today, they was like, "Oh, I didn't know you could do loan applications." Well, I've been saying it all for a long time. You can do loan applications. It's a good way to get in the flow of things. Loan mods, debt settlements. You can do those. They're short, to the point, and then it gives you exposure. It gives you an opportunity to just like, oh, okay, this is the flow. This is what is going on. Printing the documents and scanning and all of that. So when you get the big orders, you're not overwhelmed. And that's why I say it all goes back to too many of you are taking too much training. I'm not saying stop paying for your training or that. I'm just saying maybe you need to pull back and allow it to marinate a little bit and give puts forth and do some orders and then go from there. But stop trying to be perfect in this business. Stop trying to be so error free that you're not even out there doing anything to create an error, because you're sitting at home scared to even turn on your printers because you're scared that a loan closing might pop out and you got to go do it. And you still trying to figure out how to explain the deed or how to explain whatever document you're looking at, and you confused. So any other questions or concerns? I'm going to get my documents printed and everything, and get me some rest for this 6 a.m. closing. And then I got to prep for my 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. and stuff. So I'm gonna be somewhat busy tomorrow. But as always, I appreciate y'all. Like I said, the layoffs are here, and I just hope y'all do what is best for you and your business. If not, then you're gonna have to find something else to do. So we all good. All hearts and minds are clear. I don't see any other questions, any comments, any concerns, any observations. Going once, going twice. All right. Well, party people, I greatly appreciate y'all as always. Thank you for hitting the like button, sharing, subscribing. If you want to join, click the join button, be a YouTube channel member, and I got you, and I will take great care of you. All right. Well, y'all have a good one. Peace.